we're back for match number 4. And we'll draw again. Doop-a-doo. Alright, so we have a no-lander. Which land am I ditching here? Keep, pitch, basic, I guess. It's possible that I was supposed to pitch Tarn or Sacred Foundry there. So the thought process there is you want a fetch land potentially for Searing Blaze if Searing Blaze ends up even being a relevant card. Oh boy. Well, Dredge. Well, there are times where just 'tis not your weekend with a particular deck. Okay. All right. Alright. I get another amalgam at end of turn. And they get to play Ox here. All right, well, and we almost got nothing for Dredge, so bring paths in, Vortex maybe, get some of their slower draws, could be okay. Eidolon seems particularly heinous. But we're bringing in Vortex. I mean, yeah, Sand seems fine. Problem is against Dredge that fine is maybe not that good. I'm going to wait on Bauble until we get the second Chandler down. So try to maximize. Wow, what a weird. I can only presume our opponent's going to Thrilling Discovery here. Yep. And they have ley lines too. Wonderful. I think I'm just going to hold up Skull Crack here. Don't really like the idea of bringing in we're not just enough to cross the finish line this game. Alright, ley lines. Wow. This hand isn't super exciting, but I do think we keep it. Alright, so if they have an underworld to gaze, they just kind of get to do the thing. It's possible they should have done otherworld to gaze before. That's the part that's so hard about this matchup, right? Is just like they incidentally get to undo sure. I just passed through my turn. Yeah, this has been a brutal league. Yeah, we just can't. Without some type of graveyard hate, you just can't consistently beat. Dredge. Just not possible. You know, I have certainly played poorly in this league, but I do like. I'll cover this in the wrap up for the league, but I do think whatever's going on these past couple leagues has not been positive for the DRC version of the deck, and I'll kind of do that in my wrap up. All right, we're back for the fifth and final match in this league. Hope for at least ending on a little bit of a high note. Okay, we got a no-lander, so we got a mulligan. This hand is very medium, but I do think we keep. Back a Searing Blaze. Prismatic Ending, sure. Okay, so Fire Ice incoming. All right. Curious what our opponent does here. with a remand, which I suspected they had, just the way they were playing. They have a bolt. I guess we'll find out in a second. Okay, there's a creativity. Which I think, ironically, we actually want them to tap out for. Okay, apparently they don't want that creativity, sure. Okay. Bump goes to 2, probably creativity for 2. Name what? Instant and... Well, I mean, if they have 2 angels, we're in some trouble. Kind of hard to say what they got, though. Okay, what do you name? Name's instant. That's just kind of how this league is gone, man. And these, bring in these. Go down these and pray. Alright, yes, I'd like to be on the play. Alright, got a mulligan in this hand. This hand has potential, but also could get us into some trouble. Put back Helix, I guess. Go lead on channeler here. Do an upkeep stop. See, maybe they won't bolt this, but I suspect it's just dying. Yep. Well, I guess harden. Let's find a land, friend. Well, this makes a great card, but not what we're looking for here. Alright. So, decent chance we're... might fall too far behind here. Run in 6th, and then ping. Seems like the play. Alright, well... One's going to have a land, but don't normally care about running 6, but I suspect they're late on lands. Although, who knows, honestly. Okay, Flusterstorm. Oh. Now you let us draw a bloody land. Oh, yeah. Sure. Sure. So we don't know if they have a fluster or a remand or anything, so I think we have to fire off Boros Charm here. Alright, well, if they have another Sunset Revelry, we're in trouble anyway, so just kind of let them do it. I feel like this might eat a remand. Prismari command. Okay. Player draws 2 cards, creates a token. Okay. The bleep else do they have? That's just kind of how this league has gone, you know? Alright, well, let's at least do this for science. Oh, I can't even target him. Never mind. Yeah. Yep. Be back in a sec with the rest. Alright, we're back for the wrap-up with this league with Boros Burn. So 2 things I can say about this league definitively is definitely feels like this version of Burn is worse than the just traditional Burn for a couple of reasons. Number one is the fact that, you know, I said in the deck tech is creature hate is starting to rise a little bit again. You know, if you look at the results, Ragavan decks have not been performing particularly well of late, other than Murktide, which that's a whole other can of worms because it just has a pile of counter spells to back up their pressure. You know, these pitch elemental decks are really starting to be on the rise, and that really is unfavorable against decks trying to play the board. And the one thing about this version is it's playing a little bit more to the board, a little bit less spell-based. You're also running a little bit lighter on lands. And there were a lot of just mental lapses in this league. There was a match against the 4-color Gab special, for lack of a better term, where we might have thrown away the game. We might have had just exactly enough burn across the line if I hadn't prematurely conceded because of my opponent's all my opponent's plays, just kind of outvaluing us at every step. But I think between Boros Charm, and another spell, we had exactly enough to kill them or something. if they didn't hit a land drop and if they didn't hit a counterspell, which, you know, was kind of whatever. The point being is I conceded prematurely when I still had outs. And I passed a turn against Dredge when I should have at least cast one Lava Spike. You know, there were some mental errors there, but, you know, it did feel like this was a very rough league for Burn. We played against the Creativity deck twice. We played against Grixis Death Shadow, which that deck Shadow matchups are always tricky because of specifically the card Death Shadow. You know, and we also struggled against the 4-color control deck, and we also struggled against Dredge. This version is just terrible against Dredge. Dredge is typically a terrible matchup. You can steal games, but typically you need some type of graveyard hate. Whereas Sanctifying Deck would have been a very good graveyard hate card against that, as I think all of their dredgers except for Loam, if they even run Loam, get exiled. Crippling Chill gets exiled. None of their removal can touch it. And they're just kind of left with, like, I don't know, whatever cards they can cast, and most of those cards can't even block Sanctifier other than Narcomoeba. So, I think it's this really weird spot where Sanctifier in deck might right now be the highest impact sideboard card in Burn, and you can't run the DRC version with that card. That said, once again, playing the board seems to be in a little bit worse place in the meta right now. At least the 15 or so matches that I played this weekend between 2 leagues with Burn and 1 league with Murktide. So I'm just going to kind of leave that at that. You know, obviously there's still a couple weekends where things could change, but the meta for paper meta tends to be about a week behind. So I can't really recommend the Darcy version right now. I think this is a version, obviously, we're going to revisit. I'm still going to try to do a short sideboard guide for this version, as I promised you guys before the event. I'm going to probably take it out for another league or 2 next weekend. For those of you that don't know, I'm in the process of moving right now, so most of my content is recorded on the weekend and kind of released throughout the week. So, you know, things can change throughout the meta. Fortunately, I'm not a full-time streamer. I'm not a full-time content creator. This is just kind of something I do on the side, something a bit of a hobby. So I kind of do my recording on the weekends, and I'm also getting ready to move from where I am here in Ohio down to Pittsburgh, PA, to be closer to my job before the winter. So that's going to be an ongoing process. That's why I haven't been doing live streams and stuff like I used to. And then something else I've also covered, I think, in the Murktide video this week. Content is in flux right now. Kind of narrowed down the focus of this channel back down to Burn and Murktide, and then Delver and Legacy. And then the rest of the content's been archived. It's not been deleted, so it's just not available. Trying to get the algorithm back on our side to get some better, you know, better flow of views and such. It's all a bit, don't want to get into it terribly much, but basically the narrower your focus, the better the numbers you get in that area of focus on YouTube is what it basically boils down to. You know, and I have a lot of mismatched stuff over the years. You know, we've had a lot of start-stops with content creation. You know, we've been doing this since July of 2017. So we've been doing this for almost 4.5 years. So I wanted to put a refocus on what the core of the channel has been. You know, we've had a lot of other content and such. You know, we'll get to that stuff when we can, but for right now, it's kind of where things are until I get moved and settled in. And then, you know, obviously the holidays coming up, that's also a priority, but I'm going to continue to try to release content on an almost daily basis if at all possible, and just kind of giving you guys a genuine feel where things are at with the meta and with these decks and with the channel. So thanks for your support. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing, giving us a thumbs up, leaving a constructive comment down below. This has been John for MTG Nexus. Hope you all have a great day.